Hey Creek peeps, how you doing? Jeremy and Steph here. We are surviving the Rona. We're still here on the property, finishing out our Jeremy's isolation. Luckily, I'm still feeling good, and so is Jake. And Jeremy, I think, took a turn for the better, right? You're feeling a little better?
Yeah, it took about 4 or 5 days, but I'm finally getting some improvement.
Yeah. So now that we're feeling a little better, we wanted to take you on a tour of the land that we purchased here. We wanted to kind of show you some spots that we think are really cool. And right now we're actually at the property line. This is right on the road that comes in and out of the property, and this is exactly where we're standing when you step in our land. So this is the spot for our closest neighbors. The land actually has been purchased, and we've met the people that are going to be building on it, and they're awesome. So we're super excited for that. But when you come on down here, when you go down this road, you keep on going, and you would hit our trailer and the house site, which you guys have kind of seen before. So we're going to skip on that, and we're going to take you down to one of our favorite spots, which is on the point at the creek. So let's go. Made it down to the point. As you can see, it's a little bit of a hike down here, a little bit of a steep drop right now, but we're going to put in some stairs there to get down here safely. And this is really kind of like one of our favorite spots on the property.
Yeah, so what's interesting about this, it's just a natural point. Stuff can kind of show you around here. It's a pretty big, open, flat spot. And you can see by the beer cans and the stuff that people have been coming down here for a long time. So, right now you just kind of see we've been making it our own, but with some hammocks and stuff, but eventually this will be a really cool spot, a destination on the property. Lots of cool fiddler crabs and really, really neat wildlife. You can see down here all the fiddler crabs running around. Right here where this dead tree is, if you look out here to your right, back up a little bit maybe. There we go. Yeah, so right here, this will be where our dock is going to be. And we're looking at about 10 by 12 dock that's out here with an entry to it, with a 10 by 12 deck above it that's covered with a roof. So we'll have a dock with a patio or a porch above it that's covered. And then next to that will be a floating section of dock so that it'll go up and down with the tide. And that'll be a good spot to launch kayaks, tie the boat up, things like that. So this will be one of the primary locations on the property where we hang out and entertain. It's going to be really cool. And then you can see behind me, it's stunning. It's not uncommon to see bald eagles flying around, lots of hawks and water birds. It's really a neat place.
This is what we call the boat ramp. This is how we've named this portion of the property, because as you can see, since we didn't do this, actually it has kind of a natural clearing or path that leads straight down to the creek, and it's a pretty short distance, and it's low tide now, but it's a pretty short distance into the water there. So yesterday with Jeremy's finagling, he was actually able to get the genu in the water there, so we went for a cruise. But the plan is, or our hopes are, one day to actually turn this into a boat ramp. So we've got a meeting with a county official this week. They're pretty, they're pretty strict about what you can and can't do, particularly in that restricted, protected area. What is that called again?
The RPA.
RPA, that's right, RPA. So anything that is, the wetlands or the water, you really have to make a case for. So typically, one dock per parcel is what they are good with, but we're hoping to do a little bit more just because we have like so much water frontage and there's so many different viewpoints that we really want to take advantage of as many as we can along the property. So that's our plans for this spot. Hopefully, we've also got some neighbors that are interested in using it as well. So it would definitely serve, a purpose here for not only us, but some people close by to get onto the water here. And as you can see, there's many fiddler crabs down there enjoying their little low tide beach. Now don't let that mud fool you. It may look like you could walk out on it, but if you do, you'll be knee deep in sludge because it's like quicksand, so you can't go out there and walk on it. You need some kind of solid surface to go on there to be out there, but it's still pretty here to see.
Hey, so this is a really interesting spot here. Where we're at, if you look down right through here, this is the boat ramp that we just came up. And this is actually probably, I don't know, maybe 50, almost 60 foot above that. We're up on a really tall ridge. And it's a really awesome vantage point. You can't really tell right now because we'll have to do a little bit of thinning. But you can see all the way down the creek out to the York River from here. And then you can see across the entire marsh. So this is going to be a really great area for some Adirondack chairs. We like to make as many different little destinations on the property as we can, and this one will be really special because it's right here, and it has such an amazing view. But you get to like walk here, you get to hike kind of up a hill and kind of go through the woods, and you get to kind of arrive here, which is what makes it nice. And then actually out here to this side is the point that we're going to walk you down to now, and we can go out and take a look at. It might be another location for another dock or a viewing platform as well. So again, there's just kind of a limitless number of spots like this on the property because of the elevation change, where you can do a little bit of clearing, cut some branches, and have an amazing view. Let's go.
So we've walked out to this point through the marsh. You can see that's the shoreline back there. And we've got our wader boots on, walking through this. And this is kind of a, you're out here, you just have a different viewpoint. You can see kind of in either direction, just the creek and the marsh. And you just, when you're sitting out here, you really just feel like you're the only person in the world. Like I said, our neighbors are down this way, the adjacent property. And then across the way is actually, behind those trees is farmland. So, who knows what the future holds for that. But right now it's completely undisturbed. And you just have another view of the creek. This is all ours. Like I said, we've got quite a bit of shoreline on this major creek. It's pretty awesome. So now we're gonna walk back over. There is a smaller creek on the west side of the property that we wanted to show you guys. It's similar, the marsh encompasses it, but you can see the creek kind of trickle up, and there's a valley over on that side. And then also we're gonna show you just some special spots in the actual, the woods area of the property. So let's get going. So we walked over to the most eastern facing side of the property, and this marsh in between this valley right here represents our eastern property line. So our property line goes out to the creek, which is probably hard to see out there because it's low tide. At low tide, that little creek pretty much disappears. But in high tide, it's full with water. So Right here is a really pretty spot. This little creek opens up into Bland Creek, the bigger creek that we were on earlier. This area is really heavily wooded. So we're not quite sure what we're gonna do with it just yet. But hopefully maybe just a little viewing platform, because it's a pretty spot for bird watching. And it's just so peaceful. We have on this side, through those trees, there's a house there, and then there's a house back at the very end of this little creek. So we've got some neighbors on this side as well, just can't really see them. And we haven't met them yet, so we need to go say hi.
This is the north facing property line. Behind me here, you can see, again, we're up on some significant elevation. As it dips down, there's a small tributary that actually runs into the little creek that you just saw and then into Bland Creek. So technically, I guess you could say that our property's on a peninsula because we're surrounded by water on three sides. Although this creek doesn't really have a substantial amount of water in it, it does hold a lot of wildlife, lots of turtles and cool stuff like that. Another really cool, peaceful area, and we're kind of back behind our travel trailer spot right here. But one of the elements that we're trying to incorporate into the property eventually will be a pool. And again, in the spirit of trying to create destinations around the property, we'd like to put the pool kind of in this environment, in a wooded environment where it's kind of multi-layered, where you can have a water feature. So as you kind of look this direction, you can see how it kind of slopes off over here. So you can envision, you know, a bigger pool up here with a smaller pool maybe down below, and pull some of the trees back. But overall, you get this experience that you're in the woods while you're in the pool, which is really an amazing experience. So we're excited to see where this side of the property ends up as well.
All right, we've come back full circle. We're back here at our little slice of heaven at the camper. I'm like, we're literally dripping with sweat. It's like every time you walk around here, it's a workout. So, I mean, it's that was just the tip of the iceberg. There's just a lot to explore in this area. We are going to be busy probably for the rest of our lives, because there's always going to be something that we want to do or work on or create here. So we're so excited for the possibilities. You know, it's living in a travel trailer is challenging, but it's been nice to be able to experience the land in its raw form almost. You know, it just gives you such an appreciation for what we have. We just feel really, really grateful, and we're excited to build memories for our family, and then also, you know, create like the Airbnb and maybe who knows what here for other people to come and enjoy, and obviously friends and family, of course. So thanks for watching this week's video, guys.
See y'all later.
Stay tuned for some stuff we got coming up. We're hoping to wrap up our construction loan here so we can get this house built. Yes, it's time. All right, we'll check you later.
Bye.